Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good one. My name's Nick, and today we have reached the 10th installment in the Friday the 13th franchise with Jason X. Yeah, let's put the guy in space because we're trying to outdo every concept we've done before. We had a telekinesis girl. Oh, then let's take him to Manhattan. Let's go to hell. What's next? Space. Only where else to go is up. But before I get into the review, I just want to mention that I am not alone in this review series, guys. We got the boys over at Good Real Hunting. We got reviews and rankings with Robbie Sobel. We got Chase at Moser Movie Reviews. And we got Filthy Dan's Film Discussion. All putting out reviews the same day as mine, guys. Go check them out. Links will be in the description. There will also be a link to House of the Living Dead's channel, who will be hosting a watch party to this film Friday night. So go check them all out. And finally, we got Jason Nike's channel, who's going to be putting on a Friday 13th award show on August 13th. So you don't want to miss it. Go subscribe now. His channel is the J-Man's Movie Cave, and that will be in the description as well. So I'm excited, guys. Let's dive into Jason X. So Jason X was released in 2001 and stars Lexa Doing, Lisa Ryder, Peter Mensa, and Kane Hodder reprising the role of Jason once again. And this was directed by James Isaac. So guys, we have reached the 10th installment in Friday the 13th. And things have gotten really weird. We're in space now, the one place where all horror franchises go to die. Except for the ones that are meant to be there, like Alien and such. But we're not talking about them. We're talking about Friday the 13th, a camp slasher. So right away, our opening credits kind of make it seem like we're in hell. We get this fiery pit and stuff. You see like rocks and cliffs. And I'm like, okay, maybe we're going to get to see Jason in hell like we were promised in the last film. That'll be awesome. I'd love to see that. But no, it zooms out, and this was all in the eye of Jason. And it's like, it's bullshit, because that's the only thing that connects it to the last film. This literally starts off with Jason being like held hostage. He's pretty much in custody by the government or whatever. And they're in this research facility on Crystal Lake, which everything is mind-boggling to me at this point. So these guys are like running tests on Jason and finding out how his abilities work and such. Got Jason all tied up and stuff, and he doesn't look like anything we've seen previously, except for maybe in the first couple films. It's like he looks back to human form. Like, what the hell's going on with that? Like, he has like regular skin and everything. He's not like falling apart or anything. His clothes is falling apart. Like, he has this like weird shirt with another one over top that's all ripped and a little chain. But I always found that weird. He got gray hair now too. It's like he's getting older. But yeah, I always found his look weird after we had like that dead look for the last few films. So Jason escapes, killing a bunch of soldiers in his path, and eventually getting trapped in a cryogenic like stasis machine, like a freezing machine, by our final girl, who is named Rowan. Now, when she puts him in there, she thinks it's safe, but he stabs her with the machete, releasing like the cryogenic gas or whatever that will freeze the whole room. The room locks her in as well, and the both of them are frozen in there for many, many years. So we fast forward to the year 2455, and this group of students on like a training mission end up finding the bodies of Rowan and Jason frozen. So they bring them back to their ship, unthaw them. Rowan is perfectly fine because their new technology and all this shit with nanobots and stuff, it healed her and she's okay. And they claim that Jason is too dead to come back or whatever, but we all know once he unthaws, he's going to be walking around slicing up fools, and that's exactly what he does. The rest of the film is just pretty much him going around the whole ship and killing them off one by one. And this all takes place on the spaceship Grendel. So starting off with a few positives, I think if you can go in here with an open mind, no wait, not an open mind, a closed mind, just turn your brain off completely and drink a bunch of alcohol and take sedatives, whatever you need, And yeah, you're gonna probably have a good time with this film. You just can't take it seriously at all, though. It's like the perfect movie to put on in the background while you're just having a couple friends over, having a few drinks, and you're not really paying attention. It's perfect because you don't want to be paying attention to this film for an hour and a half. You're gonna have a lot of problems with it. But I think if you're just kind of in and out of the movie while you're talking with your friends and notice some of the kills and that, you're going to have a pretty good time, and you'll probably laugh at a few of the scenes as well. I also liked how the research team at the very first, when they captured Jason, they were trying to like figure out his abilities, and like one of them being like how he regenerates so quickly, and that, and how he can heal himself after getting mortally wounded where you should be dead. And they're trying to find out more about him so they could use that themselves. That's something I could totally buy, like the government or the FBI or whatever doing, trying to figure out Jason's secret so they can use it on their own soldiers or whatever. That's a pretty cool concept, and I get where they were going with that. Of course, I love the hologram room every time we see it, when the two are playing the game in there, and then Jason comes in and they think it's part of the game, and then they end up getting killed. It's hilarious. I also love the ending. The ending's the best part of the movie, where he goes back in the hologram room and they turn it to Camp Crystal Lake, and it's like the typical stereotypical stuff that we all think of when we think of the Friday 13th franchise, like teenagers talking about sex, drinking, and all that, and you get these two girls going on like that to Jason, like, you want some? And he wasn't having it. He starts smashing them in their sleeping bags. That was kind of like an homage to the older films, and the sleeping bags was a special homage to like part 7 with the sleeping bag kill there. So yeah, that part of the movie is great, and that's like the only time where the music and the atmosphere kind of works. I think the characters are all fairly okay in this. They're not super iconic or anything like that, but they get the job done. They understand that they're in a bad movie, I feel. Not just the characters, but the actors themselves, like both. Just the way that they act and their acting performance, I feel like they know that they're in a bad movie, and it makes it a little more entertaining and a little easier to watch when these characters are going on like this. I'm not saying the way they were written or anything, it's just the way that they're portraying their characters, these actors. You can tell they're just having fun with it. Rowan makes for an okay final girl. She's nothing too special, but she does have some fight in her. But my personal favorite character is always Janessa. I think she's witty, she's sexy, she has that like fun little banter with like the other characters, and she just has a style to her. She's the one who wears like that shirt that's like open with the 3 things going down. I always found that was an odd looking shirt. That's what the future's like, I guess, though. But yeah, she just seems like a whole lot of fun. And the kills in this film are mostly positives. There's a few, like the guy going down on the screw or drill thing, and he's like spinning all around. I always found that one kind of cheap and lousy. I know a lot of people like that one. I always found that a little weird. It just never looked right to me with the drill, the screw like coming through them. But obviously the liquid nitrogen kill is one of the best in the franchise. The face smash, it just looks great. Everybody knows that one. But there's a few other cool ones, like when that one soldier gets hauled back in like a little alley in the spaceship and gets picked off by Jason. I thought that was cool. Another one coming out with the throat slit, like out of the darkness, going towards the other soldiers where they're dying. I thought that was pretty cool effects on the throat slit there. So they're mostly good. There's a few throwaways and off screens and just whatever kills. But for the most part, I think they do a pretty good job in the kill department. That's enough praising this movie. I tried my best. But now let's get into the shit, the negatives, the bad, the ugly, whatever you want to call it. And for starters, let's talk about Jason. Played by Kane Hodder. His performance is good. It's the look of him I hate. Like I said, we're back to like human Jason for no reason, no explanation on that. And I don't know, I'm not digging the gray hair. His mask looks different. His whole getup is like, what the hell? Where did he get that? And it doesn't look good at all. Give him back Part 8's look over this. Like, I don't know. I just don't like. It's like, I don't know, almost like a purple bottom with like a brown shirt over top that's all ripped up. And I don't know, I just hate the look of this one. And it's not just the first Jason we see. At the end when he becomes Uber Jason, I hate that look too. It's too much like the Terminator and not enough like Voorhees. Uh, it's cool that he's a little more unstoppable, even though he was already unstoppable. Like now they can't shooting him doesn't even budge him anymore. It used to at least make him fall back sometimes, but yeah, they just ricochet off. But I hate the look with his like you can kind of see like it almost looks like his brain sticking out of the top. It's just like his head though, but and how his eyes are red and staring at you. And I prefer the one eye closed and everything. I just hate Jason's look in this film, okay? And this film has zero atmosphere whatsoever. There's no tension at all. There's no scares, no nothing. I know these films aren't really scary, but this one doesn't try at all. It feels like there's no moments where you're waiting for something. There's no tension at all. It's everything's too bright. There's like you're going down the halls and that, and the color pattern and the brightness just doesn't work at all. There's only one scene that's lit properly, and that's where the soldiers are going in and getting picked off one by one. The interior of the whole ship looks really bland and cheap. Like it's not a very good set piece in my opinion. I know they're just trying to go for that sci-fi look, but it just doesn't really work for me. But the biggest buzzkill is the comedy in here. There's just way too much of it. Every word of dialogue, every scene, they're trying to make you laugh. Where it's like you should be trying to make us scared at least. I don't mind a horror comedy, but you got to balance it out, and it's tipping way towards the comedy in this one. And it's like, yeah, if you would have played this serious, it would have been probably too stupid in that. But you could have toned it down a little bit, and just try to give us a little bit of atmosphere. Try to play both sides. And while I don't mind the characters in this one, they're not very convincing. Like, especially the military crew. I'm like, I don't buy these guys for a second that they're a part of, like, some type of militia or military or special ops, whatever they are. It's the way they engage each other, just the faces in that they make, the way that they engage Jason. None of it feels authentic. And obviously the biggest elephant in the room, why space? Like, there's so many options you could have did with this franchise, and you decide to go ahead and kill it. Now I know that this was another stepping stone before we get the Freddy versus Jason. They were still trying to work out the kinks with that, which would be released in 2003, a couple years after this. But man, I don't know. I would have at least liked some connective tissue a little bit more with part 9. Like, start off in hell and find him a way to get out of hell, and then, I don't know, somehow end up by NASA and end up on a ship or something. But this is, I don't know. I just hate when they don't even try to connect the films. Even if you take this as a standalone, it has more problems than I can throw at you. So guys, this is not a Jason movie that I put on very often unless I'm in that mood or I have the right state of mind. I mean, I still go back to it because this is one of my favorite franchises. But yeah, this film is not one of my favorites in that franchise. If I'm going to have to rate this film, I'm going to have to give it a 4.5 out of 10, guys. Yeah, sure, it can be entertaining, but it's still a bad film at the end of the day, and there's no convincing me otherwise. It's just the complete opposite of where this franchise started, and it's a shame where it went. That's all I got for my Jason X review, guys. Let me know down below what you thought of this film. Do you hate it? Do you like it? Is it a guilty pleasure for you? I would love to hear it. Make sure to follow me on Letterboxd if you want to follow me on that. That will be in the description as well. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can like the video, you can subscribe to the channel, and for an extra bonus, you can buy me a coffee at coffee.com/nickcooling. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. It will really support the channel. And that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching.